Good afternoon, everybody. So, as you see, the title says plans for rest of 2022. So, I hadn't done a live video in a while. I figured I'd do one. Just kind of let everybody know what's going on right now, what I plan for the rest of the year, that kind of stuff. Answer a bunch of questions. Today's been kind of a running errands, office work type of day. So, no knife making today. Just one of those days. Um, if you're watching through Facebook, as always, you got to enable whatever this thing's called, StreamYard, to view your comments. That way I can see whoever's commenting. First things first, tomorrow at noon Central, the remaining Zorkutai pieces for the Jaeger M's will be listed on the website. So everything I've got left, I won't have any kits. There's enough pieces to make your own kits, but I'm not going to list any kits. So if you want a full kit, you got to just add each piece individually. If you just want collars, there's collars. If you just need a clip, there's a clip. So everything I got left's getting listed tomorrow, but all as individual pieces. Possibly some Mokutai pieces as well, mainly Zirkutai. I had a few random Mokutai left, so I might throw those up there too. Alex, yes, you did the StreamYard user thing right. You got it good. No, you can't just get one collar. You got to get a set, unfortunately. Actually, I do have some random ones that didn't really match, depending on if you need Zirkutai or Mokutai. It just says Facebook user. I don't know who you are. I don't know if that's a joke. If I saw the name, I might know it might be a joke. But email me, message me, whatever. If you're somebody that actually wants just one, I might have one. Making any knives lately? I finished one yesterday. Well, mostly finished. I got all the stuff for me. It's done. Other than when it comes back, that's the frames and stuff there. The blade and screws got sent out for DLC this morning. So I'll get that back in about a week and a half, and then technically it'll be done. You look full of pizza. There's about 3 people. I can guess who that would be. But yes, I'm full of pizza. Full of a lot of other stuff too. I got my list of notes here. Otherwise, I would forget the reason I did this and start jabbering about other nonsense. So first things first. Last 2 weeks with the whole shop ordeal haven't been that great. The whole power situation was kind of a pain in the ass. For anybody that's interested, I can explain it a little bit. It was basically the power company here doesn't know where the main disconnect is for my house, so they had to physically cut the main wires running to my house. Luckily, this is not normal for around here anyway. Most houses don't have 400 amps running to their house. Thankfully, I do because I wanted to be able to have 200 at the shop and then still keep enough in the house, even though I won't even use 100 at the house. Having 400 to the house, if I ever needed more at the shop, I could. We ran some pretty heavy gauge wire down there. I'm not sure what it'll handle total down to the shop, but I've got a full blown 200. So they had to upgrade the panel on the side of my house with all the breakers and everything. So they had to pull the whole panel off. They couldn't just flip the breaker. They had to pull the whole panel off, which means the main lines running to the house had to be disconnected from the pole. Well, they didn't know where that was. They physically just cut it and just capped it. So there was 400 amp, whatever gauge wire just sitting there hot with just rubber caps over it. So that was a little sketchy for the electricians. I wouldn't want to mess with it. So they got the panel swapped, and then they tried to tell me it was going to be 2 more days before they come repair it. And I told them that wasn't acceptable. So thankfully they came out that same day after arguing with them for about an hour telling them it was their fault that they don't know where their own equipment is to disconnect my house. So that was last week, and then this week, I'm sure everybody saw the silly thing flooded. Hopefully it'll never happen again. It was just a freak rain. There's a culvert. There's a ditch behind me. The end of the ditch, there's a culvert that runs under one of the side streets. The culvert's not big enough to handle that amount of water. We already had rain for two and a half days before that was just pretty constant. So all the runoff and everything, the creek ditch was already pretty full behind the house. And then we just had a massive downpour for, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 hours. And it just couldn't handle it. It got clogged up some. I went over there yesterday and looked at it. It's not on my property. It's the county's property, but it's right up against my neighbor's property. So I'm probably going to get out there and need to clean it out because I don't want this to ever happen again. And it should probably never happen again. People keep saying I need to, need a better dirt guy, build that pad higher. We already built it up. We didn't go any higher than it was because I was already $5,000-$6,000 into crushed concrete, and we figured it was high enough. And for normal large rainfalls, it's been fine. We've had a bunch of heavy rain this year, and it's been perfectly fine. This was just one of those freak storms that you can't really plan for. So I have no complaints about my contractor. I don't blame him for any of it. It's nothing to do with him. So somebody said, well, that answers my black hardware question. I didn't talk about the black hardware. Zircuti, not zirconium, not all black zirconium. I still haven't had it. I've asked Riot for an update on that and the actual PVD hardware for the EDC Foundry versions. I haven't gotten a response in the last week. So they're supposedly almost done. That's what they told me 2 weeks ago. I haven't gotten an update saying that they are done or shipped yet. So hopefully soon. I'll keep everybody posted. These Zircuti pieces are what's getting listed tomorrow. So Brian making knives for anyone who digs a moat around the workshop. Might be able to figure something out. Depends on how deep you're willing to dig this moat, because with that much water, it'd have to be 6 foot deep at least. Somebody's crushed concrete for pad. It's crushed concrete with concrete on top and we built up crushed concrete instead of fill dirt. And then on top of the crushed concrete, we did a 6-inch thick concrete slab. I posted a bunch of pictures of it. You can see it's got a concrete slab. I didn't do just crushed concrete for a pad. That'd be stupid. Not going to the gathering. So that's next on my list is shows. So the knife I just finished, the talk I'm going to be finishing next week are customer orders. Once those are done, I'm jumping into show builds for California Custom Knife Show. And so CCKS, California Custom Knife Show, in end of October. And then I will be at Nashville again, middle of November. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving. Somebody said something. Y'all gotta, I don't know who I'm talking to. Just everybody says Facebook users. Y'all gotta let StreamYard see your comments so I know who I'm talking to. Yeah, so those are the two shows. Whoever said that you want to avoid me, that's where I'll be. Nashville's going to be a lot of fun. It was a really good show last year. I've heard the California shows are always great. I've not done one or even been to one yet, so I'm excited about that. Let's see. California is October 20th. It's a Saturday and a Sunday show. So I'll be out there Friday before, leave the Monday after. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be fun. So after, like I said, after I get done with this next knife next week, and then I'm gonna start on show builds. And losing my train of thought here. I made notes. It is not helping. Um, Hopefully, I'll have about 4 knives per show. California, I'll probably have some other stuff, maybe a couple productions. That being said, Raptors are what's coming next. Those are still scheduled for end of September, beginning October completion. That's re-out completion date, not me shipping them to you date. So, well, actually, me shipping to dealers. I only had the 100 Facebook exclusives that I did, and that was it. That's literally all I did on the Raptors. All the others from this order are going straight to dealers. I know that Knife Joy showed theirs. EDC Foundry did his. They did a pre-order. West did. River's Edge did a pre-order, and I believe St. Nick's did a pre-order. Um, Urban EDC will be getting some. Smoky Mountain Knife Works is getting a good bit. Those are both going to be exclusive versions. Um, St. Nick's, I think I said that. DLT Trading, that's a new dealer. They're getting one, and I feel like I'm missing somebody. I've got the stuff pulled up here. Oh, Knife Center, they're getting some, and yeah, Rivers. I said Rivers Edge. Uh, yeah, Knife Center will be getting some. They're basically going to be getting the same configurations as the V1s that I did, the 3 versions of them that I did. They will be getting the same style, but in the V2s. So the V1s are done. Those won't be made anymore. I made changes on the V2s to the pivot screw. Hopefully it gets fixed. Well, it is getting fixed. Hopefully it's not an issue anymore after this. Increased the pivot screw from a T8 to a T10. So hopefully they're not stripped out as easy as these were. Plus, we made it to where the pivot barrel itself, which in turn means the show side screw, which has no Torx on it, are captive. So the pivot barrel won't free spin, which in turn doesn't free spin the show side. So it should be a lot easier to take apart, because that was an issue before. Obviously, people stripping them, you couldn't get them apart. I've had to drill out 4 or 5 at least that have just been stripped to hell and back, and I couldn't get it out. And 1 or 2 being my fault, because they were just that tight. And people sent them to me. They almost stripped them themselves. You could still get a bite, and I still stripped them, even with the heat guns. So back to the shop. So we're getting real close to the shop being done, and with the shows I've got going on, Raptors coming in, most likely the end of this year is going to look like the knives I make for these shows. Then that's my wife asking about her kids. Um, there's a good chance the knives that I make for these shows will be most likely the last customs that get made this year. With as many Raptors are coming in, granted, like I said, I'm not shipping as many out myself as I had to on this last Jaeger batch, which was like 400 and something. I only have 100 myself, but still getting them to the dealers and just the logistics of all of it. Plus, with the shop being almost done, I need to move. Obviously, I'm ready to be in that shop, and hopefully it'll be done after I'm done with these shows, if not before. So that's why I'm starting on these builds right now, because starting on the show builds right now, because I want to be done with them obviously before the shows, but I want to have time to be able to move into the shop, do the work on the Raptors and stuff, and really, really hope to start 2023 custom wise, start in the new shop. Hopefully it'll all be done. Kids get off for a week around Thanksgiving. The kids are off for 2 weeks around Christmas. So that's 3 weeks right there in 2 months. And it's really hard for me to get any shop work done. My wife, as most of you know, she has a full-time job. So when the kids are off school, usually it's me occupying them, taking them wherever. Sometimes they can go to their after school place, but hopefully once the shop's done, they'll be able to ride the bus home like they used to, and we don't have to pay for after school care anymore, which would be awesome because it's not free. So that's the nitty gritty of what I wanted to talk about today. So Raptors are supposedly on time. The only ones that possibly could be delayed are the Damasteels. They are having a slow time getting Damasteel to them from Damasteel manufacturing it. I've been ordering very large batches of knives with decently large batches or amounts of Damasteel. That stuff takes a while to manufacture. So Damasteel's pretty big, but they've got customers. They're in Sweden. Their customers are worldwide, and they're having to keep up with Riot between them and normal dealer orders, and Riot keeps them busy. I know just with stuff that I've done and Felix and uh, Brian Nadal with Sharp by Design. I mean, that's a lot of Damasteel. So that's, like I said, the only thing that may be delayed is the Damasteel versions. I want to see all the exclusive that have been revealed so far. I'm not going to remember all these companies by the end of the stream. I have all of the exclusives saved in a folder, but ones, including the ones that haven't been seen. So I don't really have a way to do that right now. I actually didn't even think about doing that to show people. But once time gets closer, we'll be able to, we're going to announce everybody, and I'm going to do my best, which I may not have a link to each Raptor sales page, but I'll have at least, I need to set up a dealer link on my website to show everybody that's getting them. Also new on the website. I know most of you in here watching this. There's only 11 people right now, but most people in here, either y'all just message me or email me already, whatever. But on the website, there's a chat button now. I'm going to try that out, see how that works. That way, if you possibly need a quick answer, it should message me through the new Shopify inbox app that they have, and I can chat with you live on the website. That way, if it's just quick questions, need to track an order, stuff like that, if you lost your order status stuff. So hopefully that'll be another way to get a hold of me quick if something's important. Notifications, stuff like that. I'm also trying to not really have like set 9 to 5 hours, but I'm really trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Not limit myself, but just be more strict on myself on family time. Um, as most of all you know, I answer DMs and stuff really quick. I'm trying to. This sounds so bad. It's not that I don't want to talk to people, but I do have to set limits to myself. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna set like 9 to 5 hours on my Facebook and Instagram time or email time, but after 5 6 o'clock in the evening, I'm trying to slow down on answering stuff so abruptly because it gets to be a lot with the kids and the family, and if I'm on my phone doing stuff, um, I don't think it's fair to them. So I'm not going to disappear, but I'm still going to try to, like I said, just limit myself and try to be a little more strict on myself. Um, in my eyes, I'm doing better on the weekends, not just living on my phone all weekend trying to respond to everybody. I do need time to myself, um, and family time is really important on the weekends because we're all here. Three kids, we usually got something going on. We always have stuff to do. During the school year, especially, it's always something. So yeah, family time. I mean, three kids, wife. It keeps me busy. So um, I don't want to make it seem like I don't want to keep my same level of customer service that I've had all these years, but I do want to have yeah, office hours. It sounds better than limiting, but I do kind of want to have some office hours to an extent. That way, people know that if they message me and it needs to be something kind of urgent, they'll message me during the day instead of waiting till night. But I know everybody's got a work schedule. Not everybody can talk about nice stuff while they're at work, and so that's why I try to keep myself available after normal, business hours, just because I know a lot of you are at work and you can't message me and talk to me and have questions or concerns or whatever about, a production knife or whatever. So, um, y'all have any questions about anything? That's about all I got. So I'm really, really excited to get this shop done and moved in. I think, I think he's done painting today. Um, I got a dehumidifier in there that we're going to start running over the weekend just to make sure everything's good. But we got that water pushed out really quick when it flooded the other day, and got fans in there, got everything dried out. He ran a moisture meter. It's all wood, exterior wood sheathing for the interior walls. I didn't do sheetrock, and obviously we can't check the bottom plates for the framing without cutting holes in the walls or cutting sections out, but testing the exterior walls and right around the baseboards, there was only a 2% moisture difference from there to 6 feet up. So I think we're good. He's confident that we did what we needed to do. We still have tons of fans in there running. Um, and trying to keep everything dry. Obviously, with the paint in there, we're keeping fans running. And then I got this massive dehumidifier from Home Depot yesterday that I've been running at night, trying to help just get any more moisture out as best we can. And just to make sure, you can tell where some of the baseboards and the wall, which this stuff isn't seamless like putting a baseboard against sheetrock. So there's still little tiny gaps. I can't really notice any difference. The contractor, obviously, he's the one that put all the stuff down. He knows where gaps were and where gaps weren't on that stuff. He said there's some that have opened up a little bit more, but we're talking not even a 16th of an inch. It's real, real minor. So, like I said, I think we did a really good job cleaning it out and getting it dried out. And I'm not going to have any lingering issues. So, yeah, any news on the Raptors? I talked about that for a while. They're still on time. If you want to go back on this video, um, once I'm done, you'll be able to go back and watch it. Go 10 minutes in or so. And I was talking about the Raptors, but yeah, they're still on time for completion. I'm probably beginning of October if they're actually done on time. That's my guess. And then, so yeah, I'm estimating this move. It took me a solid week to get from my garage out into my dad's shop, and then the rest of the stuff at that time that didn't go into my dad's shop went to a storage unit. Everything that went to the storage unit now is in the half of this garage here at the new house, and obviously all my other knife making equipment that I'm actively using is still at my parents'. So once the shop is actually done here and I'm done with the show builds, because if I start moving now, like I said, if it takes me a month to move, I'm not gonna have time to get these show builds done. So it's most likely going to be done before my show builds are done. And as bad as I'm going to want to move, I'm just going to have to wait, finish the show builds for California and Nashville. And then once those are done, I'll get to moving. Most likely in the middle of that's when the Raptors are going to show up. So I'll just have to play it by ear and do what I can when I can. Um, but back to shows, one thing I didn't mention a minute ago. Next year, so going into 2023, I will I will be at Blade Show as a spectator this year. Next year, I will not have a table at Blade Show next year because there is a new custom show coming. That's going to be hosted by Matt Patton with Slice FK. So he's putting on a show, which I'm really, really excited about. It's an invitational for the exhibitors, for the makers. So it's top makers. I mean, anybody that I would consider in the top of the same genre as me, as far as I guess tactical folding knives. Anybody you can think of that's at the top of this level right now, he's got coming, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm grateful to him that he invited me to attend. So I will be doing that. It's going to be May 6th next year, and it's actually going to be close to me, which, like I said, I'm really excited about that part. I'll be in New Orleans. And the cool part about it is it will be on a ferry boat. And I think this is still pending, but if it all works out, um, after the show starts, once we're sure, kind of everybody's on that gets tickets to this thing, the boat's going to make like an hour loop around. So it'll kind of be a floating knife show, which will be really, really cool. And so I'm honored that he asked me to come do the show with him and be part of it. It's the first invitational show that I've been invited to, so I'm really stoked about that. And being so close, that's like I said, that's May 6th, and then June 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Those dates usually around there is when Blade Show is. So I won't have enough time um, to do Blade Show after doing that. Blade Show being so big, I can't take like four knives to Blade Show and have 3 days with just four knives. These smaller custom shows are usually, a couple hours to maybe 2 days. So like Nashville's 2 days, CCKS is 2 days, and there's a good chance. I hope I can have more, but there's a good chance I'm only going to have four knives for each of those shows. But bring the boat down under so we can get a chance for cool stuff. I know they do that big Australian custom show. Maybe one year I get down there to do that. That'd be a lot of fun. That'd be a long, long week, I'm sure, of travel and doing a show and then coming back home. But I think it'd be awesome. I like traveling, and if I could get down to Australia for a knife show and go do some sightseeing down there and get to write it all off would be perfect. So, but yeah, so mark your calendars, May 6th. I think he's calling it the New Orleans Custom Knife Show. I don't think it's the New Orleans Custom Invitational. I can't remember. I think it's the New Orleans Custom Knife Show. So May 6th, 2023. I'm excited for him to release all the makers that are going to be there because, like I said, it's a stacked show. Lots of people, friends, makers that I look up to, guys that I know are going to be there. Some of these guys, like I've never met in person, and so I'm really excited to be able to meet some of these makers myself and get to hang out with them at a show. And like I said, biggest benefit's only 3 hours from me. So a lot of people don't care for New Orleans. I think it's a cool city. It's got a lot of history, obviously. Doesn't smell the best, but I think it's fun. There's a lot to do in the area that it's in. It'll be right outside the French Quarter, so plenty of stuff for people to do, which is awesome. Um, Anybody got other questions before I jump off of here? No. Will there be Zircuti kits for the upcoming Raptors? No, Mokutai kits. So a funny story. I don't think I've mentioned this yet. Um, the only reason I actually got, which from now on I won't do Mokutai anymore. I much prefer Zircuti myself, and I don't know why I've done Mokutai instead of Zircuti in the past. But so I did Mokutai for the Raptor V1s. The Raptor V2s, I did Mokutai. The Jaegers, I did Mokutai. Well, I did Mokutai and Zirconium for this last Jaeger batch. And like I said, I'm still waiting on the Zirconium. The reason I'm still waiting for the Zirconium kits to come in is because Riot accidentally did Zircuti instead of Zirconium. So obviously, I'm the only person that can use them. And thankfully, I was like, sure, I'd love to have them. So I bought those from them and was able to get y'all Zircuti kits on top of the Mokutai kits. Because based off of all the ones that y'all bought, I did not order enough Mokutai kits. So that's why I actually had Zircuti kits, because it was kind of just an accident through Riot accidentally making Zircuti instead of Zirconium. So I am still getting the Zirconium, like I've mentioned. For people that weren't in here earlier, they're supposedly done, or very close to being done. I'm waiting on an update. I haven't had an update in about 2 weeks, and I've been asking them for one. So as soon as I know when those are coming in, I'll let y'all know. So yeah, Raptors will be, unless there's another mix-up, will be Mokutai and Zirconium. I can't remember quantities on the amount of kits I got. Hopefully it's enough. Probably not. I never order enough, it seems. So thank y'all for that. The remove before flicking flight tags. They're still, those were renderings. I'm supposed to be getting a high. They don't even send me a sample, which I think is silly. They're just going to send me a quote high resolution digital photo of the completed one. So hopefully they're good quality. From what I can tell, these are top quality. These aren't going to be some cheap thin ones. They're going to be normal, like thick actual flight tags, fully sewn, embroidered, not screen printed or anything like that. So I'm really excited about them. I haven't set a price on them yet, but they told me that it's about a 4 week manufacturing period on them, and that's from when I approve the digital photo sample. So I haven't even gotten that actual digital sample yet. Photo, excuse me. Um, so that'll be another month or so before those are done. But I'm excited. They're supposed to be really, really high quality. So it's one of the few places I could find that actually did custom versions and that weren't, trying to charge $5 or $6 a piece. So, any other questions? The guy that has a few from the Navy, they could send you one. Oh, I'm talking about just getting an actual like version of the one I'm getting, the custom ones I'm having done. I've got one or two somewhere. My dad was an aircraft mechanic, and then for the last however many years before he retired, 20 something years, he was actually a project manager over aircraft mechanics. So he's got some, which he's given to me. So yeah, I know like the actual good ones, how they feel. So hopefully these come out that way. That's what I'm really hoping for. They look like they will be. That's all I got. I'll wait another second, see if anybody pops another question up here. Makes me ramble on about something for another 5 minutes or so. But yeah, I'm excited. The end of this year is going to be busy, even though I'm going to feel like I'm not doing anything because I'm still in that mindset. Even 4 years in of doing this full time, like I feel like I'm not working unless I'm in the shop, and so uh, it's weird. And I know that it's not true because technically this is work for me, but I just still feel like if I'm not actually in the shop making stuff, I'm not technically working, and so thinking about only doing about 8 more knives the rest of this year before I have to do Raptors and the shop move. Um, Seems kind of weird to me. Whoever that is that just joined, I've talked about Raptors. I think it's about 10 minutes in or so. Unless somebody wants to answer for you, but just this, I'm about to end this, and then you can start it over and check it out. Book spot giveaway. I don't know what that means. Oh, as far as maybe a potential raffle, I do want to try to have some stuff at the end of the year again for Toys for Tots, Blairy Bats, and if I do that again, I'm actually trying to do something a little different this year if it happens. I don't know if it will or not. A friend of mine locally works for, I'm going to get it wrong, but it's like the Mississippi Food Bank. And I talked to him about trying to organize something around Thanksgiving, like some kind of a food drive, turkey drive or something. Either that or I just, am able to take the money and just donate it to them around Thanksgiving, just to kind of do something different this year. If that doesn't work out, I still want to be able to do something for Toys for Tots and the local children's hospital, Blairy Batson. Um, Last year I did half and half. I donated 50% to Toys for Tots, 50% to Blairy Batson. It was like $15,000 total between the two. So that was really cool. So I'd like to do something around Thanksgiving this year. So many people do stuff around Christmas. I think Thanksgiving is just as important for people. So I want to try that out if I can make something happen, work with the locally. And y'all always show up and are always so generous around doing raffles like this and donations for charities like that. So thank y'all. That's it for me. I'm going to jump off of here. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you again for being here. Thank you again for all your support. And tomorrow at noon, the remaining Zircuti pieces, possibly some Mokuti as well, will be on the website, noon central. So thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.